Hey team, how we going? It's Kaz here from In the Trenches with Kaz. It's been a while. I've been sore, but I'm back. That's what she says. Brokeback Mountain, not so much. Big heads up and thumbs up to all those that are serving the nation, intend on serving the nation or have served the nation in anything that I would call an essential service. Those that give us life protection while we sleep from those that wish us harm, except in Victoria, which seems to be out of control. Tonight, we're going to be talking about leadership and promotion, the things that you won't ever hear people really ever talk about. But we're going to do it tonight for you, for your pleasure. But before we do, I'd like to reach out and say, for those that care, everyone should, Charlie Kirk, he lost his life because he went to a knife fight with a microphone. He got killed for the words that he said. It's his birthday today. 32 years old. In 2012, he started Turning Point USA and was the founder up until the day he died, wearing a shirt that said freedom as he lost his life. He was a true leader, not a manager, a leader. Simple man, whose name went around the world, and now we mourn it. What did he do wrong? He just spoke the truth. He got killed by the intolerant, so to speak. So tonight, that'll be dedication there. He's going to stay up there. And while we talk about leadership as opposed to management, there's a poll over there for you. Do you think that our country is completely cooked, the leadership? Do we need to completely get it out the way, cut out the rot from top to bottom, and put people in charge of this country that will make it better 4 years fucking from now? The answer should be yes from every single person, because we're going backwards and the world is laughing at us, believe me. And I tell you something now, when it comes down to it, the only people that stop the wolf from coming to you is the proud people and the promises of the past that we will defend the weak within our own nation, the girt by sea. So tonight we're going to be talking about promotion. We're going to be talking about leadership, not just Charlie Kirk sort of leadership. The Army does not have, nor does Combat Corps have, a moat around it. They don't own the franchise on what is leadership or courage. To me, courage is someone that does something that's extraordinary, out of the ordinary, that is done by someone that was done without training or compulsion. They did it because it was the righteous thing to do and the sacrifice was theirs. What do we got? We got Lewis here. Lewis Hall is a great name. We need to speak again, mate. G'day, Lewis. Evan Barry, a man of wisdom and age, spent a lot of time in the bookshelf. Tonight we're going to be talking all about this sort of stuff, guys, and I hope that you are happy. Evening all, hello, Kaz. My suggestion, Kaz, for PM. Who would want that job? Who would want that job, my friend? I'm sorry. What are we looking at? Okay. Let's get down to it. Let's put a question up straight away. I've got some questions here to make this very easy to you. And before we begin, have you heard of the term burden of command? Burden of command means that it's not all easy being a commander. Your ability to have the digger's whinge, so to speak, it disappears. Once you've got promotion, once you've got rank, you took it voluntarily because you can refuse it. And if you take it, it's time to shut your mouth, and then it's all about sustains what we do well, okay, improves what we need to work on, and we should dwell on those because no one gives a shit about clapping you on the back like you're in a civilian sector or Air Force and just telling you what you're good at. We need to tell you what you're bad at. And then what we do is we double that up with a fix and we make the problem better, and that's what our politicians need to do. Evan says, g'day, Kaz. Cal, how you going, mate? Over from WA, Western Australia right there. Hey, Kaz, how are you? I'm doing okay. I'm sore, but I'm good. Mum's in hospital. If I get a call, I might have to drive up to Newcastle tonight, but let's see. God bless Mum. And Charlie Kirk. Stoney, how you going, Hollywood? Good to have you here. Jennifer G from up north. It must be getting goddamn hot up there, my friend. Lewis, we do need to medical and psych on the 21st. I'm not sure what that's about, Lewis. Oh, you've got it all. Righto. Mr. Aimaith. G'day, Kaz, and everyone. G'day to you. Guys, do you know what the first thing is that the Palestinian Hamas did as soon as they got released yesterday? Word on the street is they went back and conducted a clean-up massacre in Gaza. There you go. Yeah, there you go. I'd be very nervous about having 2,000 of these guys sent back out to where they can do the allergy of peace, the reverse, the flip side, so to speak. Yep, but today's hunters might become tomorrow's hunted again. All the best, Mrs. Caswell. Yeah, he means my mum, not me, team. Okay, let's get to it. The first question, so we can get off the ramp here, burden of command, etc. Let's talk about this. So you join the army. For starters, what are the ranks? There's recruit, okay, and then there is private, and then there is private P, and then there is lance corporal. That's followed by corporal. That's 2 stripes team. Then you go to sergeant, which is completely different to Americans. They've got 472 sergeants. And then you go to warrant officer class 2, the guy with the crown, doesn't claim to be the king. Then we go up to RSM, and there's multi-tiers of those as well. So the first thing we want to start off with when we're talking about promotion is be very careful about taking it. And we're going to talk about that tonight in the summary. Israel has taken intelligence surveillance from England since they claimed Palestine as a state and told them, you choose this side, you are on gold as. Yep, it's time for people to actually say where they are. You want peace in the Middle East? It's going to take cracking a few eggs, maybe a few million eggs, if you know what I mean. Let's, close down Gaza. Every single one of those people gets the option to leave, and they say, if you stay there, you are a combatant. And the people that stay, clean them up. Use the Islamic State to help. Use all of the people that claim to be against them. Okay, show me. You wouldn't take in their refugees? Bam, tell me why, show me why. Clean that place out and let's turn it into something else. But the cost to clean that up would be in the trillions. Let's not get off track, Kaz. Always remember when you enlisted, why you enlisted. Why? And what you want from the military. Because I tell you what, promotion will normally drag you by the scruff of the neck, by the balls, and it will take you away from every reason you ever went to join. If you want to be in charge of all of these people, if you want to pretend to like olives and drink red wine, and you want the money, and you want everything, and you don't want to be ever told you're wrong, go and be an officer. Go and become a commissioned officer. Go and get your commission, and then you can be in charge of people loosely. They don't allow to tell you you're wrong. If you want to go there and you want to experience life, if you want to be that mechanic working on the awesome vehicles, if you want to be the soldier hanging out the side of a helo with your weapon upside down, bam, pointing to the ground, amongst your best friends. And then when you tap off at the night, there's no work waiting for you. You're a digger, big arms, big tattoos, fit, ladies' man, living on Mexican food, resetting everything financially and your liver by going outfield. Stay a digger. You might get paid less, but guess what? You're living your goddamn life. If you take the promotions, do not complain to me. Do not cry for Argentina. Right, so remember what you enlisted for. And remember, we're not short of people in command. It's just they're getting promoted too quickly. That's all that's going on. Mr. Buccarini, Kaz, has there been talk of peacekeeping force going in? There has, and I believe it's US. Claude, got my psychology interview test tomorrow. Any tips and advice to prepare? Claude, I would have said, why aren't you on fucking Patreon right now? Team, the link is below. If you want a one-on-one conversation, team, that can make a difference of you having a career or not, why aren't you on here? And I don't mean the free members. If you're a free member, stop being a Jew while we're talking about the Middle East. Get on the bat phone, go to the Black Legion, set up a call and help me to help you. For the price of a coffee, team, bam, I'm in your ear. We're laughing, talking, swearing dark humour, and then our conversation continues on. I passed my psych test last week. Would you just give a simple yes answers? Try to move with the mandatory questions to expedite it and quickly only divulge in answers if asked. Okay, yeah, but Hollywood, the way you look, mate, they probably looked at you and thought, this guy belongs in a movie, we're lucky to have him. I just want to say thank you for your wisdom. I'm off to Kapooka for my initial military training on the 21st of this month. Charlie Kirk will be watching over you, mate. Never fucking quit. Never quit. We've got a couple of roughies at the moment. One of them's quit. And you'll never know what he could have done for his family. We'll talk about that later. Evan Barry, I'd love to think that the Gaza would be easy to fix, Kaz, but when a coward uses people as human shields, then discretion is the word of the day. Absolutely. Mate, look, the thing is, what money would it cost to clean that mess up, to get rid of all the UXOs, all the unexploded ordnance, to topple all those buildings, to clean it up, to then rebuild it, and why? For a couple of miles of seafood, a couple of miles of coastfront for the Mediterranean, the real estate will never pay you back. Real estate, good evening, Bretty. G'day, mate. Jared, stop being a Jew. That's right. Claudie, I only found your channel a couple of weeks ago, just haven't really had time to get on that bat phone. You've got to have time, man. You've got to sharpen that axe before you cut the fucking tree. Otherwise, you may not get through the tree. It might be too late. If you pass tomorrow, maybe you're right. If you don't, then you're going to wish that you'd found my channel earlier. Right, let's go to question 2. There's 10 of them, team. Bam. I'll leave the last one up there. Do you deserve the rank, or are you desperation promotion due to the manning? Remember, you will still be held at the highest standards of the high performers traffic light tier system. Not all ranks are equal. Okay, not all ranks are equal. And that is no true word stated, and Mr. Buckaroony can tell you exactly that. There is people, team, that, do not deserve the pay grade they have for the rank that they have. And I've been that guy, and we'll get to that later on in this video, because I'll give you a quick hint. You always get promoted one rank above what your capabilities are. If you're in the military right now, press the like button. And I don't understand why we've only got 25 viewers. This is a pretty important subject for those that are serving as well. Do you deserve the rank, or are you a desperate promotion? Okay, so what happens is quite often we're hearing more now, not so much during my time when the army was full, okay, which our jails should be with scumbags from Victoria. Some of them being judges, I reckon. What happens is there's a call for people to go in for promotion, whether it be the Junior Leadership Training Centre for your first rank, unless you're RAF and you just get that one for free. But when you go in there to get your first promotion, right, sometimes you're called up because there's just no one else for it, and they're promoting people rapidly to fill the spots without asking, are they available for that job? But understand that once you have that rank and that rank goes on your shoulder, you might get the pay, but you're also competing against people that were there through merit, people that have actual leadership, people that have fermented within their rank, people that are the best at what they do at that rank. And you can't turn around and say, oh yeah, but I wasn't ready to get promotion. Don't give a fuck. You took the rank. You took the rank. And now you're in the loop. Now you can't stop the train. Fucking chew. And you're going to be now an instructor soon, because you don't have much of a choice in that either. The promotion cycle, okay, also comes with the posting cycle. So just be aware, who is trying to promote you? Are they going to take the kicks in the ass when you're undercooked, underdone, unable to do the job? Because everyone gets promoted one rank above their ability, as I said. No one wants to get promoted at the start, and if you do, I look at an ambitious guy who just wants a rank and think, why do you want that, mate? Well, why aren't you content to become a soldier and stay there for the necessary steps? How long should a soldier be before he gets his Lance Corporal rank? I believe. G'day, Casual is 99, just subscribed. Good to have you here, mate. Great to have you here. If this is your first time here, understand the links below that you can become one-on-one in the Black Legion on Patreon for the price of a coffee a month, and then we can talk. Otherwise, welcome to have you here, and welcome to the fantastic people. The moderators are in blue, okay, and they are here so that they can assist you and guide you with what you need from this channel. We're just trying to make everyone a little bit better, one stream at a time. Right, so do you deserve the rank? Quick answer. Is there people in my platoon better than me? How come I not want to get promoted? Is there DEI happening? Is there people, females, in general, that are getting promoted because they need to hit a DEI, did not earn it, or a diversity, equity and inclusion target? We're seeing people of the opposite sex in the Australian Army now, Air Force, Navy, that have absolutely, I believe, no leadership whatsoever. So how'd they get that role? Because to get that role means you beat everyone at your rank previous to be able to go beyond them to get to that spot. It doesn't make sense to me. And remember, everyone needs to be about controlling forces on their worst day, where even when we win, we can come home with losses. So be careful of that. Not all ranks are equal. Well, you're going to see people from different corps, different ranks that have just been in there long enough that they got promoted, but at the end of the day, their word still goes to everyone below their rank. And the problem with that is when people go in there with ego, when people go in with DEI, when people go in there for other than merit, leadership, and we're seeing this all through RMC now, then what happens is we end up with a cookbooks military. You don't want that. And when do we pay for that? When we hit the battlefield again. Let's go to question 3, Kaz. You're starting to ramble. Righto. Where are we? Mate, as soon as you fail your BFA, you should almost be looking for a demotion. That's what I reckon. Mr. Buckranis says, enjoyed every rank from SIG to WO2. They all had good and bad points. The higher you go, the more pressure and responsibility. Absolutely. We've got the crab fishermen. That's different. They accept people who go in there for infantry that are too scared to get yelled at or told what to do, yet they're the ones that decide our country, the one of our country decides to fight for us. Yep. Yeah, it's rare once they actually get to infantry, mate, but I do see it, and I have seen it. You can, this is the third point, you can refuse promotion based on considerations, but if you don't accept that promotion, understand that there's going to be those in your call sign that you don't like, that you don't see eye to eye with, that will now be in charge of you because you said no to that position. Okay, and I've seen that happen a lot. And I've seen people complain when they stay a junior rank for as long as possible, but then criticise the leadership above them. You don't get that right, not when you've said no. Why would you want to get promoted? Because you want to make a difference, because you think you can do better. If you don't think you can do better, if you don't think you're ready, then maybe you're not ready. Maybe you can't do better. Or maybe you're just a humble individual, who joined for the right reasons. That can be the case too. Exile. Okay, you can refuse promotion. Understand that once you're in the promotion tunnel, tube, so to speak, you can't get back out of it, team. You can't get back out of it. Now, all of a sudden, your time to 18 months, Lance Corporal at the most, before you have to have done sub 2, and then you're going to be going for your second rank, and then you're going to be looking at posting 2 years later. Once you get in it, you are slingshot forward, whether you like it or not. Hey, Kaz, I think a section from 1RA just took out the best section in the Commonwealth. Mate, I'd love to hear more about that. My ignorant SIG is a rank. Yes, it is, Exile. So if you're in Signals Corps, instead of being called a private, okay, you're called a SIG. If you're in 2 Commando, you were called a trooper. Sorry, in SASR, you were called a trooper. If you are in Cav, you're a trooper. You're a gunner if you're in Air Force. Yeah. And if you're a sailor, then you're Ricky Martin. You've got some big questions to tell your dad. I was too busy. Why you've got rollerblades? Brady says, I was too busy doing equipment courses to care about promotion. Yeah, absolutely. I'm on the tools. I'm the on the tools guy, and that's why I joined. And you know what? If you get paid more, you just spend more or you save more. The rank you are will determine whether you're rich 20, 30, 40 years later with your career, what you did with your money, because there's plenty of people who got paid a fuck ton more than you that are actually broke as well. All right. Don't complain, ends up one or 2 up, right? Because you have to be able to do the job 2 up from your rank. Okay, this is an important one. Bucko knows about this one. So does Brady. All right, this is in life team. Okay, and Ramey is called a craftsman. Yeah. All right, number 4, you will always get promoted 1 rank above your ability. My rank that was above my ability was warrant officer. Guess what I did? I refused the promotion. I refused to go on the course. Then ultimately my bum gave out, and I was meant to go there and get ready for promotion, and I gave my rank, he may not even know it, to a guy called Ted Slattery, who was desperate for it, going through some dramas, wanted the promotion, wanted the pay rise, and I spoke to my hierarchy and said, no, I do not want this rank. I do not want to do the last course, the sub 1, which is the all core promotion course. I'd done the sub 2, I'd done the senior range instructors, I'd done the infantry, But I chose not to do the admin course that would have got me promoted, that would have taken me away from soldiers, away from instructing, and put me behind a table with just a typewriter, watching my fingers get shorter, doing paperwork. That's not who I am. ADHD, blue healer, blue flame, all the way. Do I get paid less? Sure. But I can rest at night knowing that what I was doing was always going to be around the soldiers and a platoon commander or officers that need people that are all about being in the job for the reason they joined. You'll always get promoted one rank. You see some people, it's Lance Corporal. Some people, it's Section Commander. Sub 2 is a very hard course and has the most people, in direct command beneath them than anyone else in the Army. Is Section Commander. Infantry Section Commander with 2 stripes. That guy. Okay, Sergeant was, I believe, should always have been my ceiling rank. It ultimately was my ceiling rank, and I was happy as a pig in shit, and would have probably even been happier to go back and be a Section Commander, to tell you the truth. What else we got? So, beware of getting promoted, and that happens to officers too, but no one ever tells them they're failing. Just like our politicians. Let's get rid of these 4. Bam, 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 and bam. Charlie Kirk, I see you there, mate. Next one. Let's move this one up. Okay, this is a big problem in the Australian Army today, probably Air Force and Navy as well. For some reason, we want to get people promoted and accelerated, or people think it's awesome or cool to get promoted quickly. Absolutely fucking not. There is not one advantage other than your paycheck to get promoted or accelerated quickly. It is not proof that you are good. It doesn't mean you're a jet. If anything, it's taking you away from where you are needed, down at the section commander level. Because the way to become a good leader, a good commander, everyone will teach you how to be a good or bad commander by their actions. Were they great? Were they good? Did you learn from them? Were you inspired by them? Or were they not? And then you learnt even more from them because they didn't teach you shit. They treated people like shit. Their arms were like a fly or a grasshopper in strong wind of a storm. They were panicking, and they weren't good at it, and they taught you how not what to be as well. Watch Band of Brothers. There's some excellent examples of who to be. Winters. Be like that guy. Long time in rank always makes you better. The other one is the longer that you are as a private, and then you go to support company, and you become a expert specialist in something, a veteran, after your 4 years, right? And you ferment there. Then you know all of the way around how to get things done, how to solve problems. Then you become a Lance Corporal, and you take your time there. Maximum amount of time as a Lance Corporal, even though that rank, it sucks. It sucks. Okay, one hook, you better hope you don't get a snag, and then you get the section commander. That is, arguably the best rank. And stay there as long as you can, in the battalion as long as you can, as a section commander with a rifle section. They'll look up to you like you're a father. A lot of them won't have had a father these days. Okay, be the steady sail in the wind in their sails. Help them to be the best version of themselves in and out of uniform. Make them better men. And then go to support company. If you don't get a support company, you're going to spend a bit of time with section commander in the battalion, and you'll know when it's time. And then start saying, I want to go to the School of Infantry. I want to go and put my skills on display. The longer I'm there, the bigger the conversations we're going to have with special forces, with exchange forces, with the soldiers, with officers. You're going to have all these professional conversations that turn you in the very best version of you. So when you're a sergeant, all of a sudden they're not your views anymore. They're the views of 1,000 conversations and coffees that made you an absolute master through osmosis of every battalion. Instead of just being from 2 RAR, you want to talk to 1 RAR. You want to talk to 3. Okay, you want to talk to 5-7. You want to talk to 6. You want to talk to 8-9. You want to talk to SASR. You want to talk to commandos. You want to talk to officers. You want to talk to senior NCOs. You want to have those conversations so you know how to answer with confidence every time you communicate. The infantry boys on my warrant officer course were very competitive against each other. The signals bloke got student of merit. 1996, all the instructors were ex-RSMs. Bam. Yep. The standards have dropped a lot now, mate. Hey, Kaz, thanks for your info. You're a legend. Thank you, Pro Clippers. Can you cut my hair? I'm starting to look like a lesbian again. So longer time, ferment in your rank. You know, we're seeing people too much, getting promoted too quickly, and then they don't know what to do. And they don't know that they're fucking wrong when we talk to them, or they think because we've got the same rank, we're equal. We're not fucking equal. We're not equal. Senior sergeant should be a rank. There needs to be another rank in the Australian Army between sergeant and warrant officer. This shows seniority, and I don't mean staff sergeant. Was looking at the US ranks today, Oz equivalent of a master sergeant, E8, bam. Mr. Buccaroony, that's a lot of paperwork. Jared, how you going, mate? Salute to you, mate, and thank you for your service. On my way to infantry, Kaz, crap fisherman. You're going to find some crap there, but you're going to find some gold as well. Mate, 343. This is what it's all about. It's about two things, man. Two things. One is bam, Rome, okay, studying history, learning the mistakes. The other one is never quitting, finish what you start, and bam, the Skippy badge. That's what it's all about, my friend. And I hope you get it and join me as a brother. Crap fisherman. I'm a bad fisherman too, to tell you the truth. Right, let's go to the next one. Bam. I'll push it up. Okay, we've already discussed this one. Once you're in the pipeline, Lance Corporal, the fuse is already lit for your next promotion and or posting, Kapooka, Singleton recruiting. So when you've done your time, you know, you need to be proactive in this. The schema interview, okay, schema is the careers mob for you that you'll be speaking to. When you talk to them, you need to project where you want to go, when you want to go there, you know. I don't recommend going to RMC. I don't believe there's anything in it other than rubbing shoulders with officers. I'm not a big fan of it. You're only teaching them basic skills. If you want to teach them something, wait till you're a sergeant and you'll go there, you know, and try to go back to Singleton as a senior sergeant, you know. But until that period, when you're a Lance Corporal, you need to start thinking, do I want to go to School of Infantry and test myself and make a reputation within the Royal Australian Regiment? Or do I want to go to Kapooka and just teach people how to walk, how to salute? You know, put a competency in undercooked soldiers' books. Hear grown adults fucking cry about missing home. Watching people quit after people putting their hand up for oath of affirmation saying, I will never quit, I will never die. 1 week later, I can't do it. Tap out. If you quit at Kapooka, you should have to wear for 1 year or the rest of the 4 years of your service a tap-out shirt. You gave up after giving, you know, your oath that you will never give up. I don't believe it. I'm not a fan. That's a badge we're proud of, folks. The Skippy badge. Earn it. Earn it. It still tastes like, you know, crap if you fail, I guess. Okay, so you've got to let them know, I want to go to Kapooka. You know, I want to go to Singleton. I want to go to Steel Barracks because I'm an engineer. I want to go to Pucker because I'm artillery or armoured corps. Yeah. Be in touch with it. Once you take the oath, you shouldn't be able to quit. Absolutely. You should have to pay back money. Unless there's a situation, and there's always a situation, isn't there? And if you go to recruiting, you know, that's normally because you don't want to be near giving back to your corps, or because, you know, it's pretty cushy posting in an awesome location. It could be for family needs. You might have family problems. You might have children with special needs. There might be a whole bunch of reasons I'm not going to judge you for. But recruiting is an all-corps posting you can go on to. That's question 6. The next one, question 7. We're getting through them, team. Okay, what have you got to say? Good on you, Crapo. Be proud, mate. Absolutely. Once you take the oath, you should be able to quit. Absolutely. Crapo says Kapooka needs to be made tougher for everything I've heard these days. It's just a walk in the park because modern society has weakened the system. No, the government has weakened the system. Kapooka is meant to be the antidote, but it's not, because DEI did not earn it, has crept in. There is an emphasis on getting, sorry if it offends you, Indigenous in, females in, LGBT in, all of the above in at the same time. No, merit is the only reason that should get you in there. And there should be a fitness test called a basic fitness assessment that needs to be passed at under the age of fucking 25 to get out of there, regardless of what your age is. Why? Had this debate today. One of the female soldiers has never passed a BFA. There's an Army Reserve depot in Brisbane, okay, that turns up when she wants and never gets policed for it, never passes a BFA. My mate said to her, mate, the reason why you need to do a BFA at this level is because you're training to go and fight someone from a foreign country, regardless of what it is, that's probably under 22 years old, who's crueler, who's tougher, who's faster, who's fitter, who's not fat, that wants you dead more than you want them dead. And if you don't train towards the competition level and you want to come second or force me to come second, not on my watch. I say it the way it is. Scooter, save Australia from corrupt Labor commie Greens, vote One Nation. Yes. I'm a proud Aussie, tired of politicians making Aussies feel guilty for being patriotic. I fight for Aussie. Absolutely, Scooter. What I would say is this government, it is time to offend them. It is time to offend the Australian people and not give a fuck about their feelings. It is time to say it's not about you as an individual. This is about a nation that is girt by sea, that is worth fighting for, worth dying people. 103,000 people already have, and that's not including police, not including paramedics, not including firemen, you know. So, unless you're going to pick up a sword instead of a pen, how about you give the vote up for a little while till we get back on track? How about no immigration, none for any circumstance for the next 10 years, and let's become a population that can sustain, a country that can sustain our population and give people a chance to buy a house in the future. Bring back hope, bring back MAGA, make Australia great again. Because Australia did used to be goddamn great. But it doesn't feel like we're getting better every 4 years. It feels like we're slipping backwards and people need to be fucking disciplined. Yeah. Okay, each promotion, 7. Each promotion takes you further away than the toys and pushes you more towards the paperwork and administration, planning and reporting. Each day never feels done. Once you're in the promotion pipeline, the further you get up the ranks and you swap a rifle with a computer, or you're now an instructor of heavy weapons, but you're not getting a chance to actually fire them because you're either assisting the OIC, officer in charge of a practice, or you're a safety supervisor, then you're not getting to play with the toys. And as soon as you stop playing with the toys, you can assume that you've still got it, but maybe you don't. Maybe you don't. And one day you're going to get found out. Jay, g'day Kaz, watching from the doctors. Had a high BP in my medical, passed everything else, but blood works a little off. Jay, they need to put some leeches on your balls, mate, and then they'll test the blood from that. Sorry, mate. We're going backwards, Kaz. It's eating me away. I get so upset over this shit. Absolutely. Because I love this nation more than I love myself, and I've proved that for decades. You know, and it's like the people who can make a difference don't care and they're not being held accountable for it. And as a matter of fact, they're laughing in our faces. And that is not the Australian way. You know, stop watching Channel 7, 9 and 10 and ABC, because as far as I'm concerned, they are as corrupt as fuck. Expert Ninja, I'd love to see you climbing that rooftop, mate. Hey, team and Kaz, I've recently broken my ankle. Oh, Dave D knows about that. In 2 spots, can I still re-enlist, or will it be a straight up no now? If you've got a date, it's a straight up no. What's going to occur, I would imagine, and you don't want to hear this, expert, is they're probably going to tell you come back in a year, you know, or at least 6 months, with doctors' reports showing there is absolutely no detriment to your ability, that you do functional tests through a specialist. I'm sorry, mate. How'd you do it, expert? You're supposed to be looking after yourself before you fucking send off. Did you try to pick up a big girl with romance, lost your balance, your equilibrium, blood ran to your head, no white powder, and she fell on your ankle? Or did you just trip over a stack of bike? I don't know. Mate, I'm sorry for you, expert. Mate, if you need to, dude, jump on. Let's talk you through this. Black Legion, Patreon, links below. And, mate, I genuinely am sorry for your situation, mate. Absolutely. Crap fishermen. They should make it pass your PFA, and then once you get your enlistment date, on your first day at Kapooka, they should have to do a BFA to prove you're up to the standard, not just the bare minimum. Well, crappy, they used to actually have the BFA. I can't remember what week it was. Bucko would know. And you did get back squatted when you failed it, if you failed it. And that included 7 chin-ups for men. There was no females in the platoons when I was going through. As a matter of fact, there was no LGBT either. You could get kicked out of the army for that. Bloody love your work, Scooter. To be in the Aussie military is the best honour anyone can have. Absolutely. And it's not until people get in there that they realise what we're saying. It'll change your life in every way, skill you up. You'll be part of the computer matrix, which means you're getting promoted, you're getting skills, you're getting friends, your new buddies are successful. You're sitting around a table full of snipers, reconnaissance, heavy weapons, signals, medics, commanders. It's fantastic. And every year, the ramp goes up until you fuck your reputation. Don't ever do that. Harley. G'day, mate. How you going? Let's go to the next question. No one joins for the paperwork unless you're a clerk. And I've got a lot to say on that too. I believe that it is time. Let's go back and get rid of those ones. Where are we? Let's get rid of these ones. Go back up to 8 and let's swing him up the top for you. Okay. I forget what I was about to talk about. Wait. Okay, you're expected to be able to do the roll 2 up from your worn rank. So if you're a private and your section commander gets shot, the senior private should be able to step up and be, the section commander now. Okay, if you're a lance corporal, you need to be able to do the sergeant's job. If you're the section commander, you need to be able to do the platoon commander's job. If you're the platoon commander, you need to do the major's job when you're in a company environment and there's 3 platoons. Now, that's the way it works. You've got to be able to do 2 up. So that if you are a commander, you should be pushing people into positions where you give them responsibility before they need it, before they have it, to see if they can do the job. And then from there, that goes in their reporting. And you say, I think this guy's he's good to go. Make him a group commander, That's their plan, Buck, to chip away at the pride and patriotism. I believe it's deliberate, man. I put in my application for reserves in 2 years. Okay, safe space, spelt wrong on both of those. F, Spiasi. Mate, when you get closer, jump on to Patreon, Black Legion, you and I have a conversation, and let's get you there and make sure you make the right decisions so you can change your life. How old are you, Safety Spiasi? Right, so that's a quick one. You expect to do the roll 2 up. So always watch, observe, and think, can I do it? 2 seconds, it's Mama. Hey, Mum, how you going? You all right? Yeah, I'm doing all right. Mate, I've tried a bunch of times to get hold of her. Have they got her in there? No, she's home again. Oh, well, that's good news. Yeah. I'm about to be the good son. G'day, Mum. Do you want me to come up there tomorrow and come and cook for you? No? No? Okay. But apparently they reckon I've got asthma. Now, no one else has picked asthma up. They've checked me out and everything. But just, so they did some tests with, the puffers that you use for asthma. I did 49 puffs. With one and another 8, another 32 on top of it with special stuff. And they kept on coming in and making me do another 20 minutes and another 20 minutes. So you did 4 20 minutes. Bucko, behave. Oh, I feel half dead now. Well, you're going to have a lay down. I'm online at the moment talking to, I think, 130,000 people. So I've got to go. I'll give you a call as soon as I get off here, Mum. I'm just glad you're not in hospital still. Don't worry. Everything's all right. Don't worry. And I don't think it's going to work. So just do what you're going to do. Well, you go and wet the bed and I'll come up tomorrow or the next day or something to cook for you, okay? No, you're not. We're right. I've got to work this out myself, love. Okay, I'll sort it out, all right? No, you won't sort it out at all. It's all sorted. You just do your if I'm going to get in the will, I need to make sure that I stand out.
I want to sort it out myself.
Okay. All right, Mum. I'll give you a call in the morning.
Love you.
Okay, I love you too, Mum. Bye. Bye. She's a good lady. She's a good lady. She put up with my voice for too long. You know, heaven and prayers, and God bless all your families, team. Regardless whether you're religious or not, I'm sending some prayers out there for your mums and dads. Anyway, okay, let's get to it. I'm 32 and working on my fitness, mate. Yep, and what better way to rekindle your life than get into the Army Reserve? What do you do for a civilian job as well? I want to help you on that journey, but let's not wait 2 years. Let's get in there early. You know, let's get you fit. Let's treat it like a fight camp from Conor McGregor. 6 weeks to 8 weeks. You've got that time. Let's get you there, my dude. You've exposed up to, okay, let's go to the next one. Almost there, team. You're showing endurance. Bam. Here's one. We talked before about how ranks, you know, aren't all the same. We spoke before about DEI did not earn it promotions. We spoke before about the books are cooked. We've spoken about capability, actual leadership, etc. I'm going to tell you a story. I'm a disability support worker, man. It pays well, but you've got the saints' blood in you there, Safe Space. Mate, all the best, and thank you for what you do for the people that need it the most, mate. Yeah, appreciate you. Thank you, mate. And I'll be here to help you. So let's get that done over coffees, conversations, bit of patience, and sweat on your side. Sweat tastes like salt. Real life story. Okay, so when you go to a battalion, there used to be about 1,000 people, right? They're leaders everywhere. And we were very lucky in infantry because there's reality, there's truth. No one gives a single fuck about your feelings. Okay? You fill credibility by the spoonful and you empty it by the bucket load. And that's the way it is. Anyway, when you come in contact with non-arms corps, quite often what happens is you realise, holy shit, these people are good for looking out for themselves, but a lot of them, you know, they've been too much time behind a desk. They've got too many calories. They need to get rid of some. Maybe they don't have any leadership whatsoever. Maybe the rank they've got or the gender they are has allowed them to be a protected species for too long. Well, when we got to the Sinai Peninsula in 2008, in the Middle East, the MFO, the multi-force organisation, where you go over there, there's about, I think 16 of us went over there to be in a 26-person contingent. There's some special forces, there's all corps, there's every time you go over, there's another 2 security sergeants that go over, infantry that become the head of security at El Gora in the Sinai Peninsula, just above Sharm el-Sheikh, where President Trump was yesterday addressing people. Now, when you get over there, the first thing they make you do is a BFA. So the least rank that you'll have there is normally sergeant. There was a couple of corporals. They were okay, a little bit of opinionated. You know, I liked them, you know, but they weren't really in my realm there. And we had our differences, and they'd had a lot more relaxed, non-regimental military career before they spoke to people like myself and Clarkey, Dave Powers, and Nick Hill, the infantry commanders. So we didn't always get along. We pulled their heads in, they sulked. Apart from that, and they were section commander, corporals. Difference between being a corporal and being a section commander. Corporal doesn't make a section commander. Right, so there was a whole bunch of sergeants and warrant officers there as well. There was majors, there was captains, right? And when we got there, the first thing you had to do was a BFA, basic fitness assessment. We've got the scores right here. Where are we? Where are we? Is it this one? Nope, it's not that one. Bam. Let's get that down here. So this was the BFA. But instead of the run, we only had to do, 8.5 on the beep test. And a whole bunch of people failed. And a whole bunch of people failed the fucking push-ups as well. Right? And it's like, okay. And then you had to do a BMI as well. So the female soldiers were insulted that they were getting checked for fatness. And they were fat, half of them. This is not all about females because it was a female that actually made them lose their shit. And then basically what they did is anyone that failed the BMI because they were overweight, or because of their fitness test results, what they did out the front, because we had to do the fitness test in front of like 8 other contingents of soldiers. So they all saw you, whether you were good or whether you were bad. And basically, the female captain, I won't say her name, she ended up calling everyone out on parade and called a fat camp. And basically what happened is the RSM and that end up coming out as well. And they end up yelling at people for being fat, and being disgusting and not having what you should have, the professionalism, the leadership of your rank, considering that, you're telling people what to do every day, yet here you are underperforming on operations in front of coalition forces. You're goddamn lucky to be here, and you're failing the basic fitness assessment, the bare minimum standard to even be in the Australian Army whatsoever. Okay? So they pulled the fat cord. Mate, the complaints, there was people crying, and you felt, now you're doubling down on being a weak fuck by crying for getting called out for something you're fucking guilty of. And anyway, there was this old critter, this old lady, and I was like, there's no way she's in the Army. Like, yeah, she is. I went, holy shit. She's either going to get herself or someone else killed. Useless. Nice lady? Of course. But useless? Absolutely. Anyway, we get to the range and they go, okay, well, you've got to meet the standards of being able to shoot as well. And we're talking about combat shooting, body armour, protective ensemble. You got your helmet on, all that sort of shit. She was too short, too fat, too old to be able to hold a weapon up safely, and then she did safety precautions. Fuck up. Got told, stop, apply safe. This is a sergeant. Broke down in tears. A few days later, bam, kicked off, go home. Not effective. And really sad for her that her chain of command pushed her forward. They should have got their asses kicked as well. But she should have been demoted and kicked out of the Army, I believe. Or at least told, this is the time when you sign this, leave. It's not going to get better, right? But that is one of the hard things, that when people have rank, and they don't meet up to the standards of that rank. Was I good at paperwork? Absolutely shithouse. Shithouse administrationally. Absolutely demonstrously bad. Right? I wasn't good at that at all. I ended up going to promotion where I turned up on holidays and said to the commander who I was about to have, I am not the droid you're looking for. I am useless at this, that, and that. But if you want to use me to my utmost potential, put me here, or here. Nah, you'll be fine, Kaz. Nah, didn't listen to me. Didn't listen to me. Our relationship went downhill. I ended up out of there, down at the School of Infantry, and then ended up with someone that did know how to use me as a tool, and then ended up getting Instructor of the Year. So know how to use your people, listen to them when they communicate, because you'll get the most out of them. That's what it's about. Okay, fitness score's gone. Right, that's another one. Right. We also had a infantry sergeant, well, I won't mention his name, was too scared to leave the wire. Too scared to leave the wire. Yep, it was too much of a family man, hadn't been in the trenches, hadn't been with the boys. And then when it come time to step up, didn't want to leave the fire base. And I won't mention his name. But used to think it, but bam. So if we were to ask, in summary, what is the best rank in the Australian Army? I would have to say, talking to Bucko, I reckon you'd have to say it's probably section commander or sergeant. Least amount of paperwork, most amount of time on the tools, influencing those that are on the tools, seeing their faces, making a difference in their life, creating a version of yourself in someone else that can take the torch and carry it on beyond your years. And I did private, I did Lance Corporal, I did Section Commander, and I did Sergeant in the 2nd Battalion. Yeah. So all 4 ranks. Yeah. And 2nd Battalion is always where my home is. I love it. Second to none. We even came second on Duke of Gloucester Cup. When you speak to a soldier too, you should be able to say to them, what's your scrapbook, mate? Have you been to the School of Infantry as an instructor? Have you given back? Have you been on operations with the battalion? Were you in the Duke of Gloucester Cup? Okay, were you a Lance Corporal here? Where were you in support company here? And all of those things, if no to all of the above, but their promotion has just been rapid quickness, then that's taught us something about who's ambitious, who's not about being a leader. It's about making himself the centre of that story, and I don't believe in that either. I actually really enjoyed being a staff sergeant. Squadron quartermaster, woe 2 was good, but heaps of responsibility. Yeah, and I don't like the responsibility, man. I used to drink at the Mad Cow, so I know where the discipline's coming from. If I'm speaking too much crap, the soldiers have a chance. They've got a voice too. Now, that happened a couple of times at the Mad Cow. Yeah. Kaz had to stick up for the things he says and the way he acts. Hey, team, is there any more new subscribers here? Let us know. What are your comments? Time to get out of here? 51 minutes in, I've been talking shit for ages. Charlie Kirk's been watching me, bud. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Charlie Kirk. Happy birthday to you. 32 years old today. Deceased. Rest in peace. True leader. Patriot of his country. Family man. From the bottom up, he showed people how to get it done, and he was punished for that. You know, regardless of where you are on the spectrum, that is the wrong way to treat someone who came to a conversation, you know, with a microphone instead of rhetoric. He gave people a chance to speak. This is how they treated him in return. All right, guys. So in summary, I'll close these off. Okay. The army is not, as I said earlier, we are not the custodians of bravery, and we are not the custodians of leadership. But we also are not forgiven when we come up short. There is no feelings in infantry. It's all about meritocracy. It's all about standards. So when you come shoulder to shoulder with people from infantry, you can expect a very high standard, and you can hold them up to that standard. Right? And you will see that they are a special creature. It's sometimes hard to tolerate, judgmental, but nowhere near as hard as what we judge ourselves. Right? If you're going to be promoted, if you're going to be in charge of those that are going to defend the nation, and you've made a pact with their parents, right, to bring them home safely, then you'd better hope that you're promoted for meritocracy and that you've got the stones to get them at least back, you know, at least their bodies back. And if you can't get them back in person, we've got a moral duty to the silver soldier, the private soldier, to lead him correctly, to put him first. Hey, where are we? Brecken Daniels. Good stuff, Kaz. Much respect from Laverick. Laverick Barracks, my home. I love Laverick Barracks. I wonder if some of the girls are still stuck in the cupboard up there from my early years. What unit you with, Brecco? Sergeant, but not under... okay, I don't know where that... Something went. What's going on, Harley? Was that a bad comment? What were you saying, mate? All I saw was Sergeant Butt. Jennifer, thank you. Hey, Jen, there you go, mate. I hope you're enjoying up north. Take it easy. Have some mud crabs for us. What were we going to say? Questions to you, team. Any subject. Stu got through his fitness was key. Charlie is also the key. Hey, Lewis, thanks, mate, for a cup of coffee. Cheers, my man. Can we get some... we'll get a coffee for Brecco and Lewis here. Where are we? Let's give them something in return. I think they deserve... Okay, this one's going to be for Brecco from Laverick Barracks. This is going to be the hug of the single mums from South Australia. Big hugs coming your way. Look how thick those arms are.
It's a kraken! Feed him a mother-in-law. That should make him happy. Welcome, calamari.
Thank you very much, Brecco, from Laverick Barracks. I love the Laverick Barracks pool too. For all those who can take their family there, you're going to love it. And the White Warrior goes out to Lewis.
I accept!
And yes, bucko, I've been with almost every colour of the rainbow, so I can't be racist. Sorry, Harley was saying, not bad. Sergeant best rank, but not under an old warrant officer who spent the last 30 years behind the computer. Not bad. Sergeant is the best rank, but not under an old warrant officer who spent the last 30 years. Yeah, absolutely. And that is one of the truest points there, Harley. There is nothing worse than being trapped under, okay, the tutelage, the rank of someone that doesn't deserve that rank. That is no true word spoken. Fitness is key. Attitude is everything. Attitude is absolutely everything. But we don't know what someone's attitude is going to be until they've been on operations. When you've done Tully, when you've done fucking a kangaroo exercise, when you've done the talisman sabres, when you've done those exercises, go out for 6 weeks in hardship, in all season weather or terrain, you know, you find out a lot about a person. When you're on course with someone, you learn a lot about a person. When you go on operations for 6 months, you learn a shitload about a person. Shitload. More than any civilian job, I reckon. Although the miners would be able to tell you fly in, fly out, the money's good, but what they go through with some of the people they work with, mate, there should definitely be a time to take a mouth guard. Hollywood says, single mums in SA, quality shag, just a pain dealing with the sock. Guys, we've got 3 minutes to go. 3 minutes. My brother-in-law turned 50 years old today. God bless his soul. A lovely, lovely man. What did I get him as a present? I got him a grey nickel cricket bat. This is an idea for all of you. For his 50th. Why? Because when you get to a half century, you don't take your feet off the ground. That's celebration. You hold the bat up and you let them know. Bam, to the crowd. Thank you for your support. That's 50. So I give everyone that turns 50 around me normally a grey nickel cricket bat so that they can sign it at 50 years old, and then their friends that they love can then sign below it. It also comes with a kookaburra cricket ball so that each person has to smack a cherry on it, you know, on that bat. You know, fantastic. Mentor and teamwork. Yep, mentor and teamwork. Do not put yourself first. Put the village first. You know, and understand that when you're wet, when you're cold, when you're sore, so is everyone around you. Yep. And the people that are in charge here don't have a problem with going over and giving them a coffee. That doesn't mean you're sucking the pole. That means you're understanding that someone's going through everything I'm going through, that doesn't get to go to sleep because they've still got to write orders. They've got to put up with my bullshit. The least I can do is go and put a coffee in a Cups canteen in their hand and go, there you go, Sarge. Just sucking the dick for a couple of seconds. Remember me and you will. And I'd be like, thanks, son. I remember you. Jared, Nickelbat. I see what you did there. Don't forget the poll, Kaz. Yeah, the poll says, do you think our country needs complete leadership overhaul from top to bottom? 69, great number, said yes. Someone, I believe they're trolling, said no. And make Australia great again, 27%. Well, 27% right there. Buckaroo still uses his Cups canteen, and I know that he does it with milk because for all of his career he was told, don't put milk above the top rivet. I bet he does it. Right, so 69% say not happy with the country, with the leadership. Jacinta Price is doing a great job. She's doing a fantastic job. She doesn't give a shit about your feelings. She cares about Australia. One nation, get it in there. Get it in there. Every single 4 years, the country should be better than what it was in the previous 4 years. Let's get it back. Stoney says, sent 10 in the trenches with Kaz subscriptions. There you go. So now hey, we've caught him. We've caught all the people that were lacking there, Jay. Jay's here. He's always here. He's a legend. We've got Blakey here. Great name, Blake. I changed my name to Blake. It sounds like you're drinking red wine on a leather seat. We've got Eco. Great to have you here, mate. Torrentillo. That's a good name. That sounds Kiwi. We've got Albawich. Wiggler. We've got the Treymas. RJ. Lightfoot. Adam. Keegan Ronan. The Warrior. Without a master. Mate, you've got to get a cracking for that. You get the hug. Bam. Here they come, Stoney. Hollywood's copping it. The suction caps.
It's a cracking. Feed him a mother-in-law. That should make him happy. Welcome, calamari.
Can we get some massive thank yous in there for the 10 memberships that were just given by Hollywood, the best looking man in our channel? And that includes myself, who's done a little bit of aging over 50 years. Trey Mars, more trays. That's what they say in jail. Anyway, team, as a result of this stream, I hope that this is a conversation that can actually make you start to think about the summary, which is don't be impressed or jealous by those that get promoted early. They just get found out sooner. Take your time, ferment, make the friendships. Always remember why you joined the military. Always remember, and always look at someone else that's done less time than you. And just remember that they are someone with the same dream in their eye as you, to serve the nation, to be the best version of himself. Yep. Let's get some big thank yous in there, if we can, for Hollywood, please. Stoney is a good-looking man. It's going to get him in trouble one day, I can tell you. Guys, and he's on his way as well. He's going to be in there soon enough. Guys, this channel is all about you. This is about putting you in a position, to have the best possible chance of having a successful life, sore life, hard life, off the beaten track, identifying real leadership, not managers, and then becoming one yourself when you think that you can do a better job than the person in front of you. And that's what Donald Trump did. Whether you like him or not, bucko, he said for 30 years, if I ever see a day where I think I can do a better job, then I'll throw my hat in the ring. He's done it twice. And as a result, we're seeing a lot of good things happening across the world. All right. The Kraken is back. Hit that thumbs up. Okay, team, let's get out of here. Let's go and wet our beds. And I appreciate all those on daylight savings that have stayed here a bit longer. I've got one call to do before I ring up my mum in hospital, and that is to Staney, Hollywood, because we arranged that before this stream. So thank you tonight as well there, Louis. Well, back to work, mate. Definitely need to have a chat soon. We can have a chat tomorrow if you want, Lewis. Or it'd be my pleasure, mate. My pleasure while I walk my dog. Give me a text. Let me know the number, the time that suits you, mate, and let's get it done. All right, guys, take it easy. Mucho respecto. Let's bring back Australia. Let's make it great again. Every country should be saying exactly the same thing about their country. I respect everyone's country and everyone that loves their country. I don't mind him. Good and bad points. Yep. Yeah. All right. And tonight, Charlie Kirk. Lest we forget, mate. A leader, a voice that we didn't realise we had until we lost you. See you later, brother. Look after my family. And look after your own. See you later. We're all in this world. We're only going to get one crack at it. So let's do it right. See you later. That's Kaz from In the Trenches with Kaz. Trying to keep you informed. See you, buddy.